Dodgers owner Frank McCourt has filed for bankruptcy in a seemingly desperate bid to maintain ownership of the club. The move comes just days before McCourt has to come up with $16 million in payroll and other payments.
Joining us live to discuss this developing story, sports attorney Richard Roth. Thank you for joining us, Richard. We wonder about this bankruptcy filing and McCourt's position. Is this going to help him save the team, or does it keep the door open for MLB to take over?
Well, the move by McCourt was really brilliant. What he did was he had a $3 billion television deal with Fox Sports, which he negotiated, he wanted to enter into, and Bud Selig, the commissioner's office, essentially said no. So in light of the fact that he has nowhere to go, he said, let me go to bankruptcy court. If I file for bankruptcy, then I'll have a federal court judge determine whether or not this is, quote, in the best interest of the team. So it was really a sharp move by him. There will be somebody who will oversee the commissioner's office as opposed to just being subject to whatever the commissioner decides.
So, in other words, the commissioner can't just take over the team now, even if McCourt can't make payroll.
That's correct. What happens in a bankruptcy filing is there's an automatic stay in effect, and what that means is that anything and everything about the company is frozen. Therefore, the commissioner's office now has someone to report to, has to report to the federal bankruptcy court in Delaware, no less. So nothing will happen vis-a-vis the commissioner taking over that team until a federal bankruptcy court judge determines whether or not this $3 billion television deal is in the best interest of the team. And if it does, it'll end up being a brilliant move by McCourt. If it doesn't, then there's no harm, no foul, because McCourt's in the same position he was in before he made the filing.
Right, but if this move does indeed help McCourt protect his ownership, I wonder what happens to the team on a functioning basis, at least from a fan's perspective in the meantime. Does this not end up being kind of a slash and burn approach?
From what I've read, and this just came out this morning, the players are likely to be paid in full, and there are protections under the bankruptcy court to keep the business going. Remember, any bankruptcy court judge wants to do two things. One, keep the business going so you can keep paying your bills, keep paying your rent, keep paying your players, and two, get you out of this mess. So it may end up being a brilliant move by McCourt. I'm interested to see what the commissioner does now, because now he has someone to report to, unlike beforehand.
Who's paying this payroll? McCourt doesn't have the money, so does this mean the league has to pay these salaries, even though they are not going to be able to control the team?
Yeah, I don't have the financial information on what the ticket sales are. I know it's been dicey. I know it's been very hard to get to get everyone paid, but I do understand that the players have been continuing to be paid. I will tell you that one of the first jobs of the bankruptcy court is to make sure the team continues to operate, which I think is a little different than the commissioner. The commissioner wanted to take over this team and kick McCourt out. Now we have a bankruptcy court judge that's going to say, I want both of you to appear before me, and I'll make that decision.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. That is sports attorney Richard Roth.